Diving into the database table. Database tables are building blocks of database. As we know, the definition is database table is a structured set of data held in a database consisting of rows and columns. Each column has name and the data type. As we have seen before, employee table has ID and name, and each row holds actual data. That is, in our example, employee ID and employee name. As is one row is John Doe. His ID is 1. So that is called record. So columns are vertical, rows are horizontal, and we have a primary key. Primary key is an unique identifier for any record. If there is no primary key, it will be difficult for rows to find or update. There could be, if there is no ID employee, there could be same name with same name for 2 or 3 employees. So it will be difficult. And in this example, student has student ID, first name, last name, and age. First name, last name, and age. The ID is unique for each student, so that is a primary ID. An SQL data type. Data types are defined by these syntax. Integer for sorting integer, for storing integer values, and varchar is a variable character, meaning the size of the character is not known. So the name can be 50 character or 100 character or anything. So if we don't know, just a varchar and give a number, say max. String length of n. And char, it can be also char, string length of n. So char is a fixed size, and varchar is a variable character string length. You can have date as well as float. So these are called SQL data type. It ensures the data accuracy by restricting the type of the data. For example, in ID, if ID is integer, you cannot put a string there, so it will restrict, or the query will fail when you try to insert a string or character in the ID field. So this is how, in a date field, you cannot have a string or some other or float. It has to be date. And these are your SQL data type. And what you need to consider, choose appropriate data type based on the nature of the data and the required storage space. So you can use varchar instead of integer or float, or maybe char. You give 100, so that might be wasting so much space for a simple name or first name. So that's why use the right type, or in case of integer, don't use float. So the second point is ensure that the data type supports all potential values that column will hold. So any data type, if that can hold a numeric value and a string, but if you only define as an integer, then the string values cannot be stored. So instead, if your field is type varchar, so that numeric value can be converted to string and put in the column. And database schema. Database schema is, again, it consists of many tables. In other words, is known as blueprint or architecture of the representation of the logical configuration of the entire database. It defines how the data is organized and how the relationship between data are handled. So there are multiple tables, for example, and the table definitions is done, and also we consider their relationship. Define the table and consider tables, many tables, and then also think through how their relationship will be. As in the example above, customer and the order, how those are, the customer table has customer information and order has orders made by that customer. And those informations are thought through and they are put in the different tables. And constraints are rules. Constraints are rules like primary key or foreign key that we covered. Views are special kind of saved queries that represents a subset of data. Easy access views. If you have views, those it will be easy for you to access some subset of data. Indexes are for improving the data retrieval speed. So indexes are created beforehand, and when you enter a row, it will be indexed, and then it is easy to find the particular row. The importance of data schema is consistency, data integrity, and efficiency. A simple example of a database schema is, say, a library database, and it might include list of books, list of then another table of authors, another table of publishers, and so on. So those informations are put together in a library database system, and schema is defined according to their need.